very difficult time keeping my head above water, trying to manage the special education and student assessment program. The lion's share of my ARRA money was spent on salaries, so that we were saving money and able to keep general ed teachers in the general ed classroom. So this would allow me to contract with teachers to come in and help me make sure that our evaluations are completed on time. At this point in time, every high school student's IEP is having to be reviewed. Not that we have done anything wrong here in Washington County, but it's something that the state is being required to do by the federal government. It takes an awful lot of work to coordinate that, and then for me to send my assurance to the State Department that all of our IEPs are in compliance. This is money that would be used so that I can have some help from one of my teachers to get, so that we can be compliant and so that I can keep federal dollars coming to Washington County to help our program. You know, because they are watching timelines to make sure that everything is completed on time.
This is after school.
Yes, sir. And that is stipulated in the contract that it is after school hours.
Who's responsible for writing IEP?
The special education teacher is responsible for drafting the IEP, and then the IEP team members, which would include a general ed teacher, special ed teacher, LEA representative, and parent, finalize the IEP.
So you mean you have teachers who cannot make sure those IEPs are in compliance?
What I'm talking about today it's not anything that the teachers did wrong. It's something that the federal government decided that the whole state of Alabama needed to do.
But don't you think that if you got a teacher in the system know how to do it, then shouldn't the teachers who teaching the children, if I'm going to write a lesson plan for biology, surely I don't know what ought to be in it, what's required.
And I think that's what she can do.
Well, she got to hire somebody else to review what the other special ed teachers have done. Am I right about it? You're going to hire someone to make sure that these, see what I'm saying? So you paying a teacher to check behind a teacher.
I don't really say this as being any more than what we're paying other teachers to do additional paperwork. There is a lot of required extra paperwork in special ed. Special ed teachers have never gotten any extra for the many hours that they spend
teachers to do
writing IEPs.
To write CIP. We pay the teacher to write IEP in the school.
No, that's not what it's for. It is paying someone to help me gather the data, because I have got to sign my name and send it to the State Department saying that all of this has been done.
I understand exactly what you're saying, but you know, I wrote the 504 plan for McIntosh as the counselor for this county, and no one did have to check behind me because I knew what had to be done, what had to be put in it, and I did that.
Well, that was just a for instance, Mr. Thomas.
I understand, but you need
some
some help up there. You need some help up there because the inadequacy of those teachers who present no IEP, that's the bottom line.
Well, I really don't think so.
That's the bottom line. I understand what you're saying. It's
just got to be done.
I understand. I complained about the IEPs that were written at McIntosh for years. So I understand what you're saying. But I just want Mr. Savage to know that next time we hire some special ed teachers, all these things ought to be considered. I understand what you're saying. I'm going to support your program. I just let's go.
We're ready.
All persons in favor, let it be known by show of hands.
In agreement with you.
Okay, yeah, unanimous, Mr. Sam. Ms. Boy, I don't want you to think I'm against the program, no.
Oh, no.
I just want you,
We're talking about those extra hours that I put in last month.
yeah, but you wouldn't have to do it if you're staff. But you
No,
would be
I
supposed to.
disagree with you on
Well,
that.
I know, you disagree, but see, I've been in the trenches. I see that stuff.
You're
I've
talking
seen
about
it.
one specific instance.
Well, I'm sure
I'm
you
talking
would.
about.
You got some more at all, everywhere else too. So, action item number 11. Approve continuous improvement plan, Washington County High School. Let's say that's our recommendation.
I recommend that the board approve the continuous improvement plan for Washington County High School.
You heard the recommendation. Is there a motion?
I'll make a motion.
Ms. Beach makes the motion. Is there a second? Ms.
Fine,
Fine.
second.
Nathan.
Baker, second. Discussion.
Well, I don't see anybody here from Washington High School to even answer questions.
Well, I tell you that, it was a good plan.
Yeah, I mean,
A very good plan, I'll tell you that.
But, you know, I would have thought somebody would have been here.
Yeah, well, that's
If there
true,
would have
but-
been some questions.
But the work they,
You want to address that?
the work they did is a good plan. I would have said that it was a good plan.
Well, I don't have a question. I read it over myself. I left it at home.
It's a good plan. I read some portion of it twice, so.
This is a result of us having our first CIP check with Ms. Stringer, and we also had our risk coach, the SDE coach, Kelly Anderson here, and there were some revisions that they had to do to their budget and to other parts of it. Those have been made, and the reason this is the only one that you have today is this is the only school that, remember we talked about how they didn't make AYP because they had enough in that subgroup to stay at their campus, but theirs has to be uploaded to EGAP and it has to be board approved. So the others are in my office. If any of you want a copy of the other plans, I think they've done a great job with them through the work of school improvement specialist, Ms. Stringer has helped tremendously with that.
There is one thing, and this doesn't have anything to do with the program plan, but it's something that we've talked about before, and it's a financial drain. I noticed when I was reading through here that the average absenteeism for the teachers at Washington County High School was 15 days a year. I don't know how they have time to teach if they can stay home.
When you add the testing date to that, but they don't know when to take off on testing day, so
That's right.
But, you know, I'm really glad that we've gotten to the point that we're looking at that, because we've always looked at student absences and targets, and that was part of our data. But now we're looking at teacher absenteeism, and we know the most important thing in that classroom is a teacher, a consistent, a teacher that's doing consistent teaching. And I'm glad we're looking at that as part of our data now, because I think teachers don't realize that they think, oh, well, I'm just out one day every so often, but when you talk about that over a span of a year, it accumulates in a hurry.
That's a lot.
Well, I want to say something about absenteeism. Mr. Savage and I have talked about this because we were furious this summer when we found out a few things.
Dr. Blackwell, I think, can attest to the fact that I've been over this with the principals in several meetings, and the principals went back and shared my feelings with the staff at the schools, and it seemed to get worse.
And, you know, and I'm gonna bring this up, I think it should be, and it's one of those things, at Washington County High School, the teachers, I don't know how it happened, how it ever came about, but if they worked a football game, they were given out for a day, or part of a day. Now, that ain't right, and I don't, I mean, I know we can't make them work,
Let me tell you
but
what we
now,
got, let me tell you.
Mr. Savage and I both have fussed about that, and how we found out was not, it was through a situation that it was taking, substitute pay was taken out of the football camp, that's how we found it, and it needed to be brought up.
That's illegal.
And I was hot.
That's wrong, but the people that suffers again are those students sitting there
Right,
without a
Exactly,
teacher.
that's the main thing, the
Let
students
me
are
also
not
say
being
that
taught.
back in some systems that I've heard across the state are paying the teachers not to take their day. So if at the end of the semester, they have not taken any sick days or personal days, they are paid for.